You are not tired of being a mom. You are tired of all of the emotional excrement, aka crap, that you have been carrying around that has you so sluggish. You don't have the energy for the basics of parenting, like setting boundaries and enforcing them. You're tired of suffering. And by the end of this video, you will feel energized to not only parent, but more importantly, have energy to maintain your emotional well-being. Hi, I'm Vanessa, and after retiring from practicing medicine to raise my own children full-time for more than 20 years now, most of which as a military mom, I know a little bit about emotional overwhelm. And you're probably wondering, where is that village that people keep talking about that will come and help you raise your child? You've been looking for the village, you've been crying, wondering why the village is not coming to help you, and none of that has made them come running. Because the fact of the matter is that people who have children have their own responsibilities of life that come along with that, and they're not trying to help you with yours. They don't have time to help you with your child. And then the people who don't have children, if that's intentional, they don't want to help you with your children either. And if people have children who have grown and flown the coop, now they want to enjoy a different season of life the majority of the time. And that's something that was made crystal clear to me. I mean, I knew it before, but it was crystal clear as a military mom traveling around the country where I did not have extended family to come and save the day. What I did have were 3 children depending on me to figure it out. So here's the question I have for you. I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. How many times have you thought to yourself that the choice has really come down to being a parent or being in your right mind? Now, I'm not asking rhetorically, like I'm serious. Being a parent or being in my right mind, because I get the dilemma. Whether you have help or not, regularly or not, your child wants you. They want you more than anyone else. They want your time. They want to sit in your lap. They want to hear your voice read the bedtime stories, and they want to hear your answers for all of their problems. They want you, and you want them to behave themselves and just give you a moment's peace here and there, but they're not up for that part. They want all the other stuff we talked about. And so I see how you get to the place where you decide, look here, kid. You don't say it out loud. You say it in your mind, but you're thinking, look here, kid, if it comes down to me or you, I'm picking me. We both know the better answer is that you will pick you and them. And here's how you do it. Love gives boundaries. Genuine love, true love gives boundaries. If you're still having to tell your 7-year-old to sit down in the chair, we're at the restaurant, it's a problem. That means you didn't tell your child when they were 2 years old. The reason my 7-year-old knew to keep themselves in this chair at 7 is because at 2, I said, you need to sit down. And because I helped you regulate yourself, you, as an older child, were able to regulate yourself because I had already been interested and I already told them this is how you present yourself. This is how you respect yourself. This is how you respect other people. And when you respect other people, they respect you. That's a little harder to come by these days, but the general principle still works. And so doing that and helping them regulate themselves because you offer those boundaries, right? I provide you boundaries and then you go forward and operate in those boundaries. And as an adult, you may expand your boundaries more than what I allowed, and that's your prerogative because you're an adult. But for heaven's sake, they have to have some boundaries. You can't just be out here having people grown that you raised doing whatever they want to do because you always let them do whatever they want to do. That's not love. Love gives boundaries. Genuine love, true love gives boundaries because of your care and concern for that person's well-being. Hey, Mama Bears, I'm hosting a live here on YouTube for any of you who have questions about motherhood or how to help your family function better. You can scan the QR code or click the link below to join me. Any other information you need is on the screen, and I look forward to seeing you there. You don't, not unless something's wrong, you don't let your child play on train tracks. If you did, I would question that you love your child. You don't let them play on train tracks because you know, number one, If you're in New York, you know the danger of that third rail. But then you also know the train comes on train tracks, and you don't want them to be on there when the train comes. And so you teach them to stay away from train tracks. That is not being oppressive or being overbearing. That's love. And I think we have gotten to the place where we want to be so hands off and we want to be so much a child's friend to where we actually have shown them that we despise them because we are so hands off. We are so distant that we're not actually giving them what they need to feel loved and to feel like I'm a worthy person of regulating myself for, so that when I go out into the world, I am seen for the value that I have and I offer value. People are not seeing me dreading me, they're seeing me and they're anticipating me with joy. And oh, by the way, I have joy because I have felt loved, I have felt like I mattered, and I also have self control. But the third thing that happens if you're in an unhealthy family is you lose social dexterity. Let's call it you have poor social mechanics. You just don't know how to talk to people. You don't know how to interact with other people well. And why would you? Right? Because if you don't know how to interact positively with the people in your home who are related to you by blood, or at least by marriage, and say they love you, if you all are not able to interact in positive, supportive ways, where does a child learn to do that? Your home is their first community. It's the first community they're a part of. Before they join a team, before they go to school, before they join a club, they are part of your family. And these people there are the ones that they're supposed to be able to get along with the best because these are the people who are most invested in them. If they don't have that, they take that attitude and that sentiment out of the house into all the other environments they go to, and they approach people from this attitude of nobody cares about me, I don't matter. And since I don't matter, you don't matter. And so I don't care about what you want, I don't care about what you need because nobody cares about what I want, nobody cares about what I need. And so they approach it with not only a low self worth, they struggle to have a symbiotic relationship where I care about you and you care about me. Some of these kids end up in relationships where they're doing all the giving because they just want somebody. They're like, how much can I give so that this person I'm in friendship with give me something in return because they're so hungry for somebody to care about them. Or it's the opposite, where they're antisocial in their behavior because they have such pent up hostility over the fact that nobody cares about them. And so, like I said, they don't care about anybody else. And for sure, they don't know how to resolve a conflict. And so these are your kids who are often in detention or suspended or getting expelled or who are getting arrested or all manner of things or who are doing drugs in order to regulate themselves and finding community amongst other people, right? So when they do find community, it's with other people who don't know how to function and who are self-medicating in order to be able to cope. Again, there are levels. You have a child who you're calling hyperactive, but really they just feel uncared for. And they know that the only time you'll show up and show any interest is when they do something wrong. But that can escalate as they're more mobile and have access to more things and more people. It can escalate to other behaviors and other coping mechanisms that are downright unhealthy. And do some children have a chemical imbalance that needs medication? Sure. But if the issue can be solved by the way your family is functioning, where everybody in the family who now knows better does better, those who need to get help. Because let me tell you, what I'm saying to you, assuming that you have bandwidth, that whatever things that you have been through or whatever things that you have not received as a child, that you have gone and gotten those things or are getting those things so that you, like I talked about a while ago with the social mechanics, you have enough bandwidth to even care about what I'm saying regarding what your child might be going through. If you haven't had somebody to listen to you, somebody for you to share what you have been through with, and if you think that will benefit you, get a counselor. Go get some therapy. I've had my time in therapy, but long before that, I was a journaler and I journaled all through therapy and I continue to journal. You do have moments in life where you have a rough patch and you need help through that rough patch, but there's also maintenance, right? There's treatment and then there's maintenance. Maintenance for me has been journaling. And out of my journaling has come products that I have written for other women who probably have not given themselves the space or the grace to work through things that I had to work through for my own sanity. I wrote the book, I wrote the devotional, I wrote the study journal. I'm not trying to sell them to you. What I'm saying is, out of my own processing, out of my own regular time, usually daily, of thinking about what I'm thinking about, giving myself space to go off, right? I can't go off on my husband or my children like I might want to sometimes. I go off in my journal. I say what I have to say with candor because for me, that is therapeutic. I have to get it out. And what I'm saying is not just my ideas. Studies have shown this that when you give language to your pain and you express it, the power and the magnitude of that pain shrinks. It becomes something that you can see that I can manage this, as opposed to something that is overbearing and the shadow of it is overwhelming me. Because I've written it out or I've told somebody about it, I can see that I can manage it, I can handle it, I can deal with it. Yes, I've written those books, and those are available for women who need to process that. And if you are a believer in Jesus Christ and you have trouble praying, prayer is a struggle for you. I wrote a book of prayers for you because been through there. I know what it's like to want to pray and can't. So overwhelmed by my own situation and knowing not only for me do I need to get this pressure off of me, I cannot be who I need to be for my children if I remain in that state. And so these are prayers that I wrote for particular situations. You look up in the contents how I'm feeling, how you're feeling that day, and pray that prayer. But if none of that, journal, get counseling, make room within your own soul for yourself to have a pressure release so that you can be attentive and available and invested in your children and you can teach them how to release theirs. So I hope those were some helpful tips for you if you're not already doing them. If you are not journaling, get a journal. It'll bless your life. It'll help you regulate yourself so you have room in your mind and in your soul to care about anybody else, including your children, and to help you show up for them better so that they feel like they matter to you and they're emotionally stable as well. So until next time, please remember, when it comes to you being the mother of your children, you are and will always be the woman for the job. Take care.